Of the Bohemian Revolution from Cowick 591 Studios. We are the Bohemian Reformation, and this is the Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network with guest host Mike Farrell, producer Blake Tempest, co-host Dale Reber, and I'm Jim Gillespie, and this is the Jesup News for February 3rd, 2025. Tonight we are sponsored by Mickey D's Pizza and Lobster. The owner of that, Mike Farrell, is with us. The Farrells are kind sponsors of this podcast. Include them at your wedding, graduation, or festival plans. Don't wait, their schedule is filling up for 2025. Mike, how many events do you have right now for 2025?
27.
27. How many do you want?
27.
27. Well, then they're full, ladies and gentlemen.
Good answer. Call him anyway. He might work you in. So,
Steve Brown Arts Center is the creative heart of the Buchanan County. We're the thriving community where art flourishes. With dynamic exhibits and interactive workshops, we spark creativity and passion. Discover a world of artistic inspiration at the Steve Brown Arts Center. To learn more about the SBAC, go to our Facebook page. Another sponsor we have who's been with us since the birth of the SBAC is Derek's Repair, located in Jesup, Iowa. Contact Derek Marty for your car repair needs. Also, don't forget Bubba Seaman and What Is Up with something going on lately. Everyone has a story, opinions, and experiences to share, and they do that on What Is Up, on the What Is Up podcast, discussing real life with real people, the good and the bad, the highs and the lows, and everything funny in between. The most interesting yet entertaining podcast that makes people think, one conversation at a time. After you are done listening to us, check us out, or check Bubba out on the podcast What Is Up. Dale and I are on the next 3 weeks, so
they couldn't contain us in one show, could they? Took 3.
He couldn't. So it comes out. It came out. The first one came out Friday at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
wow.
In the morning?
It comes
I
out.
didn't know
Yes,
that. Okay.
yes. So let's go right at it here. Let's turn you guys loose right now. What's your view of the first couple weeks of the new president's administration, Mr. Farrell?
You're throwing me a softball. In all of my 61 years, I never looked forward to that Monday morning, January 20th. Never have I looked forward to a Monday morning like I did a week and a half ago. I'm really pleased. I would be disingenuous to tell you if I wasn't, but I am extremely pleased. There's a lot of things happening. I think we're getting back to what I would consider to be normal. He signed an executive order to get boys out of girls' locker rooms. He's chasing away the guest that we have coming through the South and the North. He's just doing a lot of stuff that I wanted to have happen. I know a lot of people didn't want to have happen, but things that I wanted to have happen, and I'm very pleased with it.
So Dale, your thoughts?
Well, I'm 100% the other way, I guess. I think we have 3 branches of government, and they should work together, but they also are supposed to balance each other out. And it just seemed like the Senate and the House are just kind of turning him into a little king, and he's pretty much doing what he wants. It just shoots from the hip like he did the first 4 years, like he's going to sign an executive order that contradicts what it says in the Constitution. Well, it's not easy to change the Constitution. Somebody should have told him, because it went to a judge, and the judge said, well, this is the easiest one I've ever had to do. No, you can't do that. It's in the Constitution. Well, isn't there somebody on his team that has guts enough to say, we can't do that?
You're talking about the birth.
The birth, yeah.
The birth.
Yeah.
The birthright.
Yeah, it was the 14th Amendment. And so,
It was an amendment from what, the 60s or the 50s, right? In which, was it Roosevelt?
No, I think it was longer ago than that.
No, it was set up.
It was after the Civil War.
Right after the Civil War was set up for freedom.
Okay,
Yeah.
But it was, I believe it was about 2 Chinese folks that were here legally, and they had a child. Was that not the history of that?
Oh, I was in the impression it was when the slaves were freed. Are they citizens or are they not? And they had an amendment saying if you were born in this country, you are a citizen, unless of course you're an Indian.
Well, yeah, they were born there, right?
And if you were a woman, you didn't have any citizen rights either. See, so
right.
If you were black or an Indian or a woman, It was, well, actually, it was for white guys. Yeah, the amendment was so there would be no problem with that. The freed slaves could vote and they had all the rights of a citizen because they were born in this country. And that's why the amendment was passed, is the way I remember from, again, high school or 60 years ago studying this.
Better memory than I do. But Dale, do you really think it was for all these people coming across?
Well, all I know is the Second Amendment makes no sense to me in many ways. That the gun, yeah, but that's the way it's written, so that's the way we're going with it. And so the 14th Amendment, that's the way it's written, so that's the way we need to go with it. If you're going to, have a strict interpretation of the Constitution, which seems to be what people want, instead of judges saying, well, we think this is what they meant when they wrote the Constitution, and there are other people who say, no, this is what is written, that's what we do, even though it's changed a lot in 250 years. And so anyway, there was a thing on this. Trump is talking about setting up an internment camp at Guantanamo in Cuba.
I think that's
well, that was on the news tonight that he said
he is going to open up Guantanamo.
30,000 people. Yeah, okay.
That shouldn't be here, that are illegal.
Yes, but
no, you got to stop right there.
Yeah.
Yes, but
whether they're here or in Guantanamo, they have to eat and sleep and do all the other stuff people do, and it's going to cost. So he's talking about cutting costs and everything. If they're not criminal,
they are criminal.
They're not all criminal.
No, they are criminal. No. When you cross the border, you cross the border illegally. Not you did. We're doing interpretations, right?
Well, yeah. The thing is, I was talking about if you didn't come to the United States with a criminal record, or you have performed criminal acts while you're here. Dale, if you're a woman and a child and you came across the river to find a better life because your life was dangerous for you, then I can't put you in the same regard as someone who was a contract killer for the gangs in Mexico City or whatever.
If you steal $100 from me, is that illegal?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so different degrees. You're not killing anybody, right? But you stole $100. You're still doing something illegal. When they came across the border, they crossed illegally. You could get shot for that in Russia. You could get shot for that in Ukraine.
Yeah.
We're saying to you, you need to go home. You need to do it the legal way. That's all.
Yeah.
And if he's got to put people in an internment camp, so be it.
But if you send them home, a lot of them are going to die.
I don't believe that at all.
I do. That's why they left. There was a couple, they got across the border. They sent them back to Mexico. Mexico took them clear to the far end of Mexico, and as soon as they got off, they started walking back north.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they're desperate people. They're trying to live and have their children be able to live, and it's hard for me to go against that.
We can't afford it, Dale. We can't afford to feed them. We can't afford to educate them. We can't afford to insure them. We can't afford it.
Well, they're doing a lot of work for us.
Let's
talk of cheap work.
Let's change the direction just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Last night at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, President Trump's administration put a freeze on a large amount of government programs.
Spending.
Yeah, government spending. Many of those were things that senators and representatives put in bills. What do they call those things that they tie on to bills?
Yeah.
I can't rember exactly what they call it.
You've got me confused. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But what
little
they do,
goodies they put in to get elected again.
Like there is, what's that?
Pork.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, how could
you guys forget that?
I know. That's right. That's right. Take somebody from Boston to know that.
Should have said cod. No, it's cod.
But he's going after a lot of things, and I'm not convinced that's all bad.
Today they took it back.
No, they put it on hold.
Well, yeah.
They didn't take it back. They put it on hold to get a little more definition to it. They put it on hold. He's not rescinding that.
Yeah.
Would you say? Would you say, Mike, and I'll let you answer this too, Dale. But
thank you.
Yeah, it is. Don't cut his mic. Blake, don't cut Dale's mic again. Would you say, Mike, that it's sort of like when Biden wanted to pay back or pay off all, or say all those people didn't have to pay their college bills.
Student loans.
Yeah, their students. He knew that wasn't going to happen. I'm sure his lawyers said that's not going to get through the courts.
Didn't it already happen? I thought he did it 3 or 4 times.
Well, he did it 3 or 4 times, but it never passed because the court stopped. Now, but Biden fulfilled a promise that he made that he would do that. Actually, the Senator Warren promised, and Warren threw his support to Biden. My question is this: is Trump doing all this because he promised? And one of the things I like about Trump is that he'll make a promise and he'll try to fulfill it. I don't agree with all his promises, but he tries to fulfill it.
Well, but 30% his first 4 years. 30% of the promises he made to get the first time, he fulfilled 30% of them over the 4 years. So that's the last stat I saw from an independent, nonpartisan agency.
Okay. I'm asking you, Dale, do you think he's just trying to fulfill a promise so that people say, well, he tried.
Yeah.
He tried.
Yeah. Well, it's hard with his rhetoric. It's hard to know for sure, but he did. It's a shotgun approach. Everything he talked about, he's put it out there, and now we're seeing what happens. And so you could be very right that he's going at it right away. Some of the thing, he says, okay, we're going to get out of the World Health Organization. And they said, well, by contract or whatever, you have to give them a year's notice and pay your dues and this sort of thing. And you have to talk to your own Congress people. Well, he thought, 4 years ago I was going to get out of there, so that's all I need to do. And they said, no, we don't think so. Well, anyway, there was another thing we had to give 60 days notice. He had to give 60 days notice before he could eliminate a program, and he didn't do that. And there should be people there that can tell him, these are the steps you have to take. It's not a dictatorship, it's not a kingdom. You can't just decree things. Some things, I guess, he can decree, but a lot of things have conditions to them. Well, did I ever get to your question there?
Yeah, no, you agreed with me.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't want you to, but you did.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. So you brought this up. So now I'll ask you guys this: what's been the most impactful executive order he's made since he's taken office, Mike? Would you say?
Wow. There's been, 320 of them so far?
Has there been that many?
Yeah. First, let me go back to the dictator. I think it was your infamous first black president. No, that was Bill Clinton. But the first president of color, true color, said, I have a pen, and that elections have consequences. Okay, so he was the first one that went down that path.
A lot of them, he won the first one, but a lot of them, a lot of presidents did have used
he was the first one that was verbal about it.
I'll tell you though, before you get started, I hate these yabbits. They say, you shouldn't do this. Yeah, but they did it over there. Well, that's, if the damn thing is wrong, then it's wrong, even if, even there's precedent way back 150 years, and if you are a person of character, you try not to do things that are wrong.
And I agree with that, Dale. That was happening way before this dictator came in. Mm-hmm. There were several before him, right? Okay, whether it was Bush or Biden or Obama or Trump first time, Reagan, Clinton. They all did it. And they, executive order on this and executive order on that. I like the fact that he immediately started with an executive order to put a fence up on the southern border. A country without borders is not a country, okay? And we don't have a country. We didn't have a country. Anybody could come. I just shudder at the thought of all these people coming across. We didn't even know who they were. We were getting murderers and rapists and people.
Not millions of them, though.
There were 2 million getaways.
Not millions of rapists and murderers.
How do we know? 2 million people got away. We don't know where they are and what they're doing.
Okay.
Do you, so Dale, what would you say is the most impactful executive order? You don't have to like for it to be.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably getting ICE agents and the police and everybody to start looking for people who are in this country illegally and actually collecting them together and trying to get them out of the country. I think that's probably the one that's going to be the most impactful on our country.
What do you guys think about the issue with Colombia? It is.
It's amazing what a tariff will do.
Yeah.
Colombia backed away but found a way to look good. He said the
Yeah.
president, it's all about politics.
It is.
It is. To each country. Bobby Kennedy's in front of a bunch of politicians today. Let's start the cart before the horse. Will he be accepted?
Well, the last polls I heard about, only 30% of Americans think he should be confirmed. When they do the polling, and so that's a big strike against him. Also, he doesn't come across very well as someone you would trust to take over something as important as health care. His cousin, Caroline Kennedy, came out and said he's a predator, that he vaccinated his own kids, but then encouraged others not to vaccinate their kids. And she had other things also. And so just seemed like there's a lot of juice against him. And so he doesn't come across, I said that very well, and so I think it'd be harder for him to convince them to overlook some of these other things and confirm him.
What do you think, Mike? Well, is he gonna be confirmed?
I don't know. I really don't know.
We're on live here. You got to make a choice.
I'm gonna say that I think he's a redeemed man. He did have a lot of skeletons in his closet. I think his heart is there. I really can't say yes or no, but I mean, even Caroline's got her own skeletons, right?
Yeah, everybody does,
right.
Especially those people.
Yeah, but I think his heart is in the right place. He came when he came onto the scene. I mean, instantaneously. What was it, 3 weeks ago? Some of these companies that were doing red number 4 dye, whatever, it's a petroleum-based product, cut it right out. And there's a changed attitude about that simply because he came onto the scene and he was talking about that. He's somebody who's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, I'm sure. I don't know that I like everything about him, but if that is what Trump wants, I think it's what he should get.
Does it bother you at all that so many of these nominees have something in their past? They've been accused of sexual abuse or of mismanaging companies, or they have no experience managing companies, or the one guy is, they have all kinds of video of him acting in a very alcoholic way. Does it bother you that so many of them have problems from their past that keep coming up? Okay.
Not at all. The questions to Hegseth I found kind of irritating. And I was really very appreciative of the senator that brought up. They were asking him, would you get drunk again, or would you commit to not drinking again? And then the senator said, who was sitting at the table with all of these senators, said, I've been at places where you guys have all been drunk. Okay, what qualifies you to be a senator? Yeah. What about Ted Kennedy himself? Killed a woman in a car. Okay, was drunk every weekend, every night, and he was like the king of the Northeast as a politician. And I forget his nickname, the Big Bear or something, or whatever. But,
I suppose with Teddy.
Yeah. I mean, he killed a woman and walked away. I mean, what qualifies him to be a senator?
That was Chappaquiddick, right?
Chappaquiddick, right. And then there was another Kennedy that did about the same thing, killed somebody in a car accident and walked away.
Yeah. Well, there's one of the cousins. There was a big scandal about somebody got killed, a girl got shot.
Not Mary Jo Kopechne. What was her name? It was, he was
in Virginia, wasn't it, or something? But I thought it was one of Robert Kennedy's kids.
16 or something.
Yeah, he had a lot. I don't know. He had a lot of kids, and so it's hard to keep track of them.
Yeah, but people can change, Dale, right?
Well, I understand that, but it just seemed like the trend was there that, can't you find a Harvard-trained physician to be in charge of this healthcare or whatever, or somebody who's managed a large hospital, something. And all I know that Robert Kennedy has is the name Robert Kennedy. I don't know anything about what he has done as far as making a career or hiring and firing or running a business or running any kind of organization. I don't know that he has done any of that.
I don't really know much of his background. Yeah. I do know that he has sued he sued a few pharmaceutical companies based on their practices. That I know. But I don't know what else he's done.
And I am in favor of suing pharmaceutical companies.
There you go. Yeah. I figured we would.
see where we met in the middle on that one, yes.
Well, let's take a little break here for a second. This is Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. I'm Jim Gillespie with Mike Farrell, Dale Reber, producer Blake Tempest. We have in our audience tonight our second artist in resident, Richard Moore Kelly. And
Tell him to tone it down a little bit, you know.
I know he's got to calm down over there. Here's a question for you guys: is running into train sitting still a train wreck? That's on Levitard poll today.
Okay.
Is running into a train that's sitting still a
Are you talking
train
about
wreck?
like the cars or the engine?
Everything. The whole train is sitting out here on 6th Street.
Yeah, but one car is running into 2 Mile Train. What part of the train are they running into?
They're running into the car
just
sitting.
the car sitting there.
The car sitting.
Yeah, well, it's a car wreck. Yeah, I don't think it's a train wreck.
It's not a train wreck.
It's
What
a
would
car
you
wreck.
say?
I don't know.
What would you say, Blake? Car wreck or train wreck?
Well, it doesn't sound like a wreck.
Well, the
Car hit-
the
a
car
car
would
hit
be
the
wrecked.
train.
The train would just keep on rolling
Right,
on.
yeah.
Oh, the train's sitting still though.
I know, but after the wreck, the car's going to be crunched up, and the train is going to
is not
still be
going to move
moving.
at all.
It's a car wreck, okay?
So
All
it's a car wreck.
What,
Yeah, I
what
would-
would you say, Blake?
Agree with me one time.
I was gonna.
No, see there.
A car wreck.
Richard, what would you say? You would say a train wreck.
wreck.
All right, let's go. Did you know we were talking to former President Obama today, or just a little bit ago? Did you know he was in an airplane accident?
I had no idea.
Yes. Actually, the airplane he was in ran into another airplane on the ground.
Okay, now that's an airplane crash.
Is that?
Yeah.
No, it's
Well, they crashed into each other. I mean, it's not a crash like they fell out of the sky, but like if a car runs into another car, you call that a
You guys
crash.
just like to argue with each other.
Well, no, but I'm just saying,
Would it be a
you know,
mutual accident?
it's just how you use the word crash, you know. But hey, if they
would it be a plane wreck?
did they bump into each other? So see
Well,
that?
they hit each other.
Yeah, but
So
did
wings hit
fall
each
in,
other,
things
or
catch
what?
on fire and everything like
Nothing. No, they didn't. You know, they just. You know, so I'm sure the wings hit the airplane.
that? No, that's
I
just,
mean, they weren't going that fast.
that's just a bump then. That's
Anybody
not a,
else
that's not
feel
a
like
crash.
a Tylenol?
Yeah,
We'll need one before the end of the night.
that would just be a bump. That wouldn't be. I wouldn't consider that to be a crash. A crash is where that vehicle is so mangled up that it's worthless. It can't be used. And if you just tip the end off an airplane, why you could still duct tape a little tip on there and take off.
Yeah.
So you don't think it's an airplane crash?
No. I envision a crash is when it hits
the mountain.
ground.
Yeah.
Well, then let's ask this question: if you're a lone survivor in an airplane crash, should all your sins be forgiven? How about that? That was on the Levitard poll today.
So you're stealing material from
No,
other
I'm
people's
telling you, it's from the Levitard poll today.
Okay. So what was the question again?
If
You walk
the
away
lone-
from a crash.
If you're the lone survivor of an airplane crash, should all your sins be forgiven? Like that woman we talked about a few months ago that fell out of the sky Christmas Eve in the Amazon. She was in her seat and landed in the
Canopy, the trees.
landed into the trees, lived for a week in the jungle, and walked away out of it. Only survivor of that plane crash.
Okay, the plane crashed in the air. It exploded in the air or something.
Well,
She fell out with her seat.
Yeah.
I don't remember just talking
Yeah, we
about
talked
this.
about
Did
that.
we really?
You might have
Okay.
been gone. You might
Yeah,
have been
but
out of time.
I was way gone. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Should all her sins be forgiven?
Should all her sins be forgiven?
Nope. If she was running away from a murder charge and she walked out of the jungle, they should arrest her and send her back for same trial.
Deal is so fine line, right?
He is.
Right.
He is. Now you
There's
see
no
what I got to
gray
work
for Dale.
with.
Well, why would her sins
every
be
week.
forgiven?
Okay, all right, that's all right. It's your opinion. Your
Yeah.
opinion. That's your opinion.
We all know about opinions, don't we?
Yeah.
He is a Marine, too.
So,
I mean, they
I
are
understand.
straightforward, and there is no gray.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here, Mike, you fly a lot, so I'm going to ask you this: must a jet balance its weight out? Let's say there's 40 people on this side of the jet, and there's 10 people on that side of the jet.
They do that all the time.
Do they balance it out?
Yeah, they'll
Really?
count. They'll count people in sections, and they'll bring it up to the captain, and he might say, "I need 2 people to move from this to that." Oh yeah, they do that all the time.
Interesting. I did
You
not know that.
remember? It's probably 20 years ago. There was a plane taken off out of somewhere in North Carolina, and it got up into the air, and then it fell back because the plane was imbalanced. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long time since I've been on a plane that wasn't packed, But I have flown where there weren't that many people. But you'd be flying and the captain will say, okay, if you look out the port side or the left side window, you can see the Grand Canyon. So everybody on the right side of the plane gets up and kind of pushes over to look out the window. And they never say, hey, wait a minute, no, get back. So I did not know that, but I would, to me, that makes sense.
Yeah. It was a turboprop, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, okay.
A dash, either 8 or 10. It was a U.S. airplane, and they were going up, and they actually fell backwards. He didn't have enough power to get up off the ground. So yeah, they'll come through and they'll say, okay, we got up until row 21, we've got, and then from 21 to 10, we've got 6 and whatever, and they will balance the plane for sure.
So when you buy your ticket, should they be able to ask you how much you weigh?
Yeah, I think they should.
Yeah, I've done that. I've been on the elevator with lots of people.
Right,
I see they have
1,200
unloaded, and I say,
pounds,
okay,
whatever.
how much everybody weigh? And nobody ever answers though. But
Right.
it's fun to see.
Is
when
that
they look
another
at you.
Levitard question?
No. I'm trying to. All right. So this is Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. Dale, what do you got for Jesup news?
Well, I have a few things. New month at the library.
Okay.
And it's always fun over there. And a lot of things going, as always. The Caregiver Support Group is meeting Thursday, February 6th at 6 o'clock in the evening. And this is where Stacy Isley of Care Initiatives of Waterloo has coffee and conversation. If you are a caregiver, and we talked, I think, one time about the sandwich, where you're caring for your kids and you're also caring for your parents,
Yep.
and you're kind of stuck in the middle there.
Yep.
There's more people in that situation than you might think.
Right. There's a lot.
Because we're living longer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
February 24th. Okay, who sang? Fly me to the moon and let me play among
Was
the
that
stars.
Dean Martin?
Well, maybe it was Frank Sinatra had the big hit with it.
Okay.
Well, there's a movie called Fly Me to the Moon, and they don't sing in it. So, starring Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, and it's rated PG-13 and runs for 2 hours and 11 minutes. A longer movie, and so that's on February the 24th at 1 o'clock. Free admission and free popcorn. And I've been to a couple movies over there. It actually works pretty well in the smaller room, but they got the big screen. And so a movie comes across really well. Cozy Drinks and Snacks Tuesday, February 11th at 1 o'clock. They have cozy drinks and snacks. They have hot chocolate and coffee and a snack, and you can bring your own stuff if you want to. And you chat and work on a craft. You can bring your own craft material, or they have stuff there if you just want a chance to get out and do some crafting and talk with other people. The exercise group still Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 o'clock. Mobility, strength, balance is very important for us older people. The Little Tot story time every Thursday at 10:30. If you have a little tot, get them to the library. Man, they talk about kids not reading. Get them to the library. Make a lifelong reader out of them. Very important. The Habitat for Humanity has a Habitat Chat on Saturday, February the 8th at 10:30. And this is Brenda Schmidtke from Iowa Heartland Habitat for Humanity to discuss options and opportunities in our community for homeowners. And they have refreshments and some kids' activities. Here's our favorite, Bubbles, Brews, and Bites. Tuesday, February the 4th at 5 o'clock. They're having an open house at the public library, and members of the Board of Trustees, the Friends of the Library, and the Endowment Committee will answer any questions about the endowment program they have.
What's the date on that?
That is February the 4th at 5 in the afternoon. And this is the one where the 42 North Winery and the Allerton Brewing Company will have sampling there for wine and beer, and then also you can purchase them if you would like, but you don't have to. But they're trying to get information out about the endowment program at the library. Remember, you can make a gift to the library, and it goes into this endowment program, and so that gift lasts a lifetime because all they spend every year is the interest. A good way, if you're thinking about donating to the library, a good thing to do. Crafty Creations on Valentine's Day at 9 o'clock. Got anything for your sweetheart yet? You could make something at the library on Valentine's Day at 9 o'clock and give it to her at noon, and what a sweetheart you would be.
I will play part of the song and here later on and explain that.
Okay. Did you understand that? I did. Okay.
No.
Okay, you can
I'll
make a
wait.
craft on Friday, February 14th at 9 o'clock. Bring your imagination and do crafting. And then STEM Wednesday is February the 5th at 1:30. There's an early dismissal so kids can come and do activities, have snacks, and ISU Extension is there to help them. And they're going to make Nutella plate. Now, Nutella's like a candy bar, nutrition bar, isn't it?
I think so.
Nutella? I thought it was like a peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Make Nutella Play-Doh. Oh, okay. And create a snack to celebrate World Nutella Day.
Wow.
No, you probably didn't even know it was World Nutella
I
Day.
did not
you?
know that.
Yeah, okay.
Today's it's Old Commission Day today. I thought of you, Dale. But
It's curmudgeon, I think.
okay,
Yeah, okay.
that too.
Well, you're egging me on, you know.
Yeah.
I was perfectly calm till I got here. Okay, Monday, February 3rd is kind of late because that's today. Join us at Allerton Brewing for discussing a book called Friends and Strangers. But even if you haven't read the book, they'd love to have you come and sit and listen. And then the chapter chat book is February 17th. That's the most fun we ever had by Claire Lombardo. And I don't know much about that book. I
don't know.
didn't think I would go to that one, but I enjoyed the one we went to last week.
Yeah, I read the previews of it. It's not my genre, but there's a lot of people in our group I think would like that a lot.
They were more like a sex and/or violence group, didn't you think
they
those ladies were?
Yeah.
And I missed that.
Yeah.
You did.
Reheat and Radiant meals are still being made by Bridget Maroney, and you can get on there. It's called homemade-catering.net. You can see and you can order online there, and then they will bring them to Cowork 591 here between 8 and 5. You can pick up anytime you want to. And Kelly Seahawks was telling me that she has used this service, and you just throw them in the microwave. She's having enchiladas tonight, she said.
Okay.
So you get something a little different. And but also there are plain Jane meals that you and I would like.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
okay. So that's called homemade-catering.net, and you can work through 591 to do that. So.
Sure. You
Okay,
got
got
it.
some school news. The boys basketball team at Jesup won 6 straight. Did you know that?
I did not realize
Yeah,
that.
and they're 9-5 overall, and 9-2 in the conference, and so doing really, really well. And that Treptow kid, averaging 25, 26 points a game, doing
Okay.
really, really well. Is Joe Seams the
Seems. Yep.
So if they get 3 guys in double figures, they're doing really, really well, and so far they've been doing just great lately. The girls are undefeated in the conference, 7-0, and they are 12-3 overall. So they're having an excellent season.
They upset, I think it was 9th ranked Ablington Parkersburg last night.
Yeah. Okay, so that wouldn't have been in this story,
Right.
the information
Yeah.
I had probably. So, if you want to see the girls and boys play, you run out of time. On the 4th of February, they're both at Wapsie Valley, and on the 7th, they're both at Columbus Catholic, and then on the 11th, Dyke New Hartford. I think that's a home game. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I didn't write that down. The boys then also have an extra game on the 13th where Waukon is coming to Jesup to play. Then the boys are district play on the 17th, and they hit 7 o'clock, but that's all they know.
Yeah.
Everything else is to be announced when they find out. And then the girls on the 10th have a game with Turkey Valley, just the varsity, probably varsity JV girls, and they start regionals on the 15th. And then a little plug for the music department, the Coffee House. You ever been to the Coffee House?
Yeah.
That's February 28th.
Oh, wonderful.
Where, staff and students, everything come up with acts, singing, comedy, whatever they dance, piano playing.
I've actually performed at that.
Have you really? Okay. But that's at 7 o'clock. And so,
Okay.
actually, that whole thing started back when, Steve Brown was involved with that too.
Yeah.
The arts program. I know the buyers, and we used to go and put these big posters up and decorate. Used to have it in, remember the little gym in the old
Right,
school? Had it in the little gym.
That was
make
so
it up,
cool,
and actually
yeah.
looked like a coffee house, had the tables and everything.
Yeah.
And now it's gotten away from that. It's more like a performance. But Carter Rout did some nice things the last few years at the coffee house. And so-
Remind me of that. Maybe we'll go to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
February 28th at 7 o'clock. And then I got a little city news. Was looking at the minutes of the last city council meeting. One thing, I had never seen people do this before, but the city of Jesup, this new West Echo, they're going to build houses on the
Yes,
west
yes.
side down there. And what the city is going to do is property taxes they collect from that area, they're going to put into a fund, and that money will be used just to pay for expenses the city incurs because that place is there.
Okay.
So they're kind of, instead of taking it out of the general fund, they're going to have a special fund. So the people that live there and own that property, their taxes will be set aside to pay for the services that are needed when you get something like that going, is the way I understand it. So,
The man that set that area up, he's building houses up there as fast as they can go up.
Yeah.
They're not all filled yet.
yeah. We were driving to Des Moines the other day, and you know how Ankeny is growing north like crazy, just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, Story City now, north of Story City, it used to be a couple, now it's stretched out. There are many, many houses being built north of Story City. So that whole area is just unbelievable for building. Public Works Director, they bought a lawnmower for $14,400. I was thinking when I first came to Jesup, I think they mowed Land and Corn Park out here.
Right.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
But now they have around the city shop down there, they have this park, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 other parks that they mow all the time. And also there's some mowing on First Street that they do. So there's a lot of mowing that has to be done. And so I can see why they don't want to push mower. So
Right.
They want to drive it. So, and I didn't understand this, but it says they had a quote for a new GPS unit. The current GPS unit cannot download any information, and so they're buying another one for $6,000 some dollars.
That's
And
quite a GPS unit.
what would a GPS unit? Now that's what helps you find your way, right, and where you're at.
Would the police department use it?
And it says it cannot download any information.
Maybe
so,
it is.
and
There's
I don't know
police
why
in
that
the
would be.
fire station, ambulance.
Yeah.
Ambulance, right?
Okay,
All
all
the
right.
services, yeah.
And the fire department's going to buy some, they can just call it turnout gear for $13,000. Farmers Day is accepted. They're going to have the Farmers Day June 19, 20, and 21 this year, which is the same dates as last year, I believe. And so I was looking at the revenues and expenses for the month of December. Okay, revenues. This is for the city of Jesup, $528,938. Expenses, $272,612. So if they do that every month, we're making tons of money, don't you think? Almost twice. So I don't know how that all works, but that's pretty good revenue, isn't it, for 1 month? $528,000.
They are fixing to do the streets around the school there too.
Yeah, there's what's they call the streets here. I gotta look. That's what's this called. It's oh, see, how come I anyway,
Is
I
it
can't-
Prospect?
I think it's Prospect and Hopkins Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Prospect and Hopkins Street, and Hopkins is the one that goes by where Larry Baldwin used to live, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's like 2 blocks long.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Mr.
Alan Wright.
Baldwin.
Alan Wright
Who's
lives
on the
there.
end of
Yes,
it?
yes,
Yes, he does,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's Prospect and Hopkins. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're putting aside a lot of money for that too.
Yeah.
So it's a expensive project.
The government can find ways to use it. And I'm not saying just I see that Independence needs a new water treatment plant, and it's $40 million they need.
Yeah. Wow.
That's not something that a town the size of Independence can just say, we've got $40 million
Yeah.
to spend right now.
Yeah. No, you need to think way ahead.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that Jesup did do when they had to build a new water treatment. They instead of dilly-dallying around or trying to put it off, they went and went after it and got it done.
Yeah.
And so it's good for I don't know how many years, but it meets all the requirements that the DNR has. And so I think you're better off if you got a problem like that, just go ahead and fix it instead of messing around with it. And so that's what they have done. Yeah, that's a lot of money to come up with, and especially with our president cutting all those programs, so you have no money available.
Well, you can have more money in your pocket, though. So if you wanted to donate, you could.
Well, if they came around, I probably would donate.
This is
you need help? Yeah, I'd be glad to help you.
the Steve Brown Arts Center
What am I gonna do with all
Podcast
my
Network.
money?
And we are in negotiations right now, actually. The Steve Brown Arts Center is in negotiations with the Depot. The Depot is a 501c3 as well in Independence. And with some help of some friends of the Steve Brown Arts Center, we are talking to them about having our headquarters in the Depot from Memorial Day to Labor Day of this summer.
Oh.
And that would allow us to do numerous shows and events.
And we have brochures available, maybe, and that sort of thing. They have a lot of brochures there from
Yeah,
things.
they have a number of things, but it was not two summers ago, I volunteered there, and it was open Thursday through Sunday. I would volunteer every Sunday during the summer is what I would do from 1, and it's open from noon until 4. Well, last summer they couldn't get volunteers, and so the depot sat dormant.
Yeah.
You know, and it is an old building in which they moved, and they moved a train there, and it's a beautiful building.
So if I were new to town, and I'm assuming the depot is on 150?
It's on 150, yeah.
And there's some sort of manufacturing plant next to it?
Yeah, the Bachman's Tool and Die, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we are in discussion with them. They have a cost just to keep it. You know, if you have a building, you must
You gotta keep
yeah.
it
You have
up.
to maintain
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you know, so along with help, friends of the Steve Brown Arts Center, we've been in negotiations with them, and we will know by the end of February whether or not we're going to be in there or not.
Okay.
So that's real exciting news for us. We've been looking for a building. It will not be a cost to us because it's a building that is not being used. And we would man the building, you know, and it'd only be open 16 hours a week. But still, it is a building that we don't have, you know. So it's opportunity, and if we can prove that that we're of value to Buchanan County, perhaps it will be a full-time home for the Steve Brown Arts Center. We're real excited about that. And we'll keep our listeners. You know, we have so many loyal listeners. You know, we take them for granted sometimes, and we want to thank our loyal listeners. All right, so you're a New Englander. The Patriots, I'm sure, were.
Oh, you're killing me.
You're a fan of them, but now we've got
Here
a
we
new
go.
dynasty. We've got a
Okay.
new dynasty on the horizon.
Whatever.
The Chiefs. But everybody says the fix is on with the Chiefs, that the NFL wants the Chiefs, or wanted the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Why? Why would they want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? It's a small market. Yeah, I mean, you know, if the NFL were to lean one way or another, maybe it would be LA or a New York team.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
They wanted the Chiefs to win and then them to get engaged right after the game, and
Got the
the love
Kelce's.
story, and
Yeah.
all these women will start watching pro football. They'll just get more and more money.
It is. So
Yeah.
you don't believe that the fix is
No,
on?
I don't.
Get a copy of today's Des Moines Register. They have a nice article in there about whether or not the refs are on the Chiefs side and whether the NFL is trying to push it, because there's a couple of calls in the last game that were, and the one was the spotting of the ball when he went for it on fourth down. They said he didn't get it, and there's a device. It's called an electronic spotter. It takes the human element out of it. That somehow,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if they put a little thing in the football or whatever to see where it went, but there's this gentleman writing the article saying the NFL needs to get that electronic spotter. The technology's there. They've got the money. They need to do it.
Well,
because they said most people think the guy made it, but the one, it's short.
They don't need three guys like us running the chains like a high school game
Right.
in the NFL, that they spend millions of dollars on flights and everything else. You know.
So anyway, you may see that. You heard it here first. You may see that next year, the electronic spotting of the
Interesting.
football.
Well,
So,
they do have electronic spotting for baseball, where they can call balls and strikes.
oh
and,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
it was just a matter of time.
yeah. It's amazing to me in baseball. You see that little square there when you're watching it. Accurate the human umpires are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they don't get every one, but I mean they are way. It's amazing to me how accurate they are.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever stood behind a catcher trying to call balls and strikes, but you can't see very well. I mean, you have to. I don't know. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. So,
No, I wouldn't imagine. No,
Yeah.
I've been a referee.
Yeah.
Not a referee. Yeah, I've been a referee, ice hockey referee for 25 years, and at all levels.
Yeah.
And the human element is
Yeah.
you see what you see, and
Sure. And I know
can't get it
I was
all.
umpiring a little game, Little League, and the pitch was way up here, and I called it a strike for some reason. I don't know why. And the coach, caring about my feelings, tells me, well, now you know where he's calling him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel bad. I have no idea why I call it a strike. You just do. And so I tried to umpire as little as possible.
I was at a game last night, and I would sit usually on the opponent's side of the home crowd. And part of it is I want to watch both benches as well as the game. And it was early in the game, like a minute and a half into the game, and there was a foul called on the opponent's. Somebody behind me yells at the referee, well, call it down at this end.
Oh, my God.
And
They always say that.
And there was a girl sitting next to me with her parents that looked like she graduated last year or the year before. And she turned around and said, Dad, the game just started. There hasn't been anything down here. So it is, everybody thinks it is their responsibility to yell at the official.
Yeah. Now, we were at a game, and I was so glad it happened this way because it wasn't being called very well. But in discussing or just talking with the people around us, we found out that the older couple in front of us were the father and mother of one of the umpires. So it kept our comments, civil, I guess. But it must be hard to say this. But
All right. Well,
So do you think there's a conspiracy?
with gambling, here you go. I'm going to say something here that I've said for years. The NFL is on the take.
I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah, the NFL is on the take. The NFL is the easiest game to fix of all of the professional sports. Perhaps not hockey. I don't know enough about hockey to talk about that, but. Here's the thing, in the NFL, so there's 50 players on each side. There's 6 officials. You either need a kicker to miss a kick. You need a defensive back to fall down. You need a wide receiver to drop a ball. You need a quarterback to throw a ball over the head of a receiver. You need a running back to fall down. It is too easy to fix. Here's the thing. Gambling is a big deal now, with DraftKings and all of that. If Mike and I wanted to bet the Super Bowl, he could bet the Eagles, he's from the East, and I could bet the Chiefs, I'm from the Midwest, and one of us is going to win. So gambling anymore is not a big deal. Best thing the sports did is get their nose into gambling now. Before games could be fixed and there was no benefit to the sport. It's benefit to the sport now. So the NFL is making more money again. The NBA is making more money again. Baseball is making more money again. Talk about bets. So let's talk about the Super Bowl. All right. So here's some prop bets. Who's going to win the toss? The Eagles or the Chiefs?
You're asking?
I'm asking. Because you can make this bet.
Okay. Well, I'll make the bet then. Philadelphia.
we had that one thing where you could bet how long it would take to sing the national anthem. Whether
and
it
you
was
can do
more
that
than
again.
2 minutes or under 2 minutes. Yeah.
You can do that again.
Yeah.
Who is singing the anthem?
Oh gosh, I didn't look that up yet.
Do we care?
Because you care on their speed of their cadence.
Oh yeah,
of singing.
you probably sit there with a stopwatch if you had $100 on it.
Yeah.
So.
And then you can bet what color the Gatorade is going to be that is dumped on
The coach.
The
The winning
Wow.
coach, yeah.
Yeah.
who is the first play going to be a pass or a run?
Yeah.
It is. Gambling is out of control now. I mean, the genie's out of the bottle.
It's amazing to me how the gamblers, like they'll say, so-and-so, 2.5 points. And it's within that so many times. You know, they had 3 points or
Yeah.
5 points. I don't know how they do it, but they know. And I'm not saying it's crooked. I'm just saying they study the game. They know probably what's going to happen.
There was a player for the Nets, and I wish I could remember his name, last week. He had 23 points at halftime. The second half, he took one shot and missed. The over and under for him to score points was 25.
Yeah.
Do you think the fix was on?
That's, I don't know.
You
One
could have somebody
shot.
named Big Louie come and call on you pretty soon.
Right? Yeah.
What you doing?
So let's pick them right now. The Chiefs, or who's going to win it? The Chiefs or the Eagle? We'll go around the table here. Be ready down there, Mr. Kelly.
I got to go with the Eagles. I hate the Chiefs. I hate the comparison between Mahomes and Brady. There is no comparison. I'm sorry. I got to go with Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Mr. Reber, be ready, Blake. We're coming at you. It's coming at you, man.
I think the Chiefs are going to win. I
Again, it's this back and
Chiefs.
forth.
No, but you look at it, it's going to be a close game, and if the Mahomes gets the ball with 2 minutes left, he can score. You know, he does it time after time after time, and so, and now that the NFL wants him to win, no.
Fix is in.
But it just seems to me like until somebody beats him, I guess I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs.
Blake, who do you say? Chiefs?
I ain't gonna be watching.
Yeah. You don't have to watch the pick.
I haven't watched either, so I have no frame of reference.
All right. Mr. Moore Kelly.
I'll take Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Nice.
I'll stand next to my friend Mr. Reber and take the Chiefs as well. Here's the thing. Brady never won the trifecta 3 in a row.
And neither will Mahomes. Right?
All right. So
Is it Gronkowski? Is that the guy's name?
Tight end?
Gronk?
I did,
Gronk,
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to me how many commercials he is
Oh my
in.
goodness. And he's in some
and
funny
he's in
ones,
some-
right?
Yeah, and some newer ones. There was one today, which I don't remember what, I had not seen him advertise that product before. And
Yeah.
so he's doing really well.
Yeah.
And he's got the kind of personality, he could end up with a show or a movie or something, I think. It would be very interesting. It will be, if I live long enough, to watch what happens with him, because he's getting pretty good. And Mahomes, he has more commercials than anybody in the world. So
We need the audience's help to meet 12 artists. We've met one artist. We met the artist in Independence, the art teacher in Independence. We're looking for 11 more artists for the Steve Brown Art Center to meet this year. That's part of one of our goals for the Art Center to meet this year. If you'd like to donate to the Steve Brown Art Center, have an idea for the event, go to stevebrownartcenter.org and follow the link. If you have news or would like to sponsor us, email us at jim@stevebrownartcenter.org or call 319-290-0241 and leave a message. Dale, I need you to bloviate a little bit. I need to find this song.
which song are you looking for?
Well, I never liked St. Valentine's.
So you have to find it?
I have to find it quick.
Do you have a group of Trump people that you talk with? Are they all feeling like you are? They all?
Oh, yeah,
Nobody's
we're all- yeah,
nobody's
we're all-
embarrassed or anything. Or?
Nobody is embarrassed at
Okay.
all. My
Oh.
goodness, yeah, we're definitely we're riding high right now. We're
right.
getting everything we want. So,
That's no good.
hey, right?
Yeah.
You had sent out something. Are we going to talk about the Obamas?
Well, we have a little time, so we'll do that. Before I play a little snippet of "I Never Liked St. Valentine's." There's been whisperings that the Obamas are going to get a divorce.
Really?
There's been whispers.
Because
Where'd you
she
hear
didn't
that?
come to the funeral.
Well, she didn't go to Jimmy Carter's funeral. She didn't go to
The inauguration.
the inauguration.
Right.
There was a newspaper article with Jennifer Aniston was supposedly having an affair with President Obama.
What?
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
she was the star on Friends, right?
Yeah, I know.
Right,
Yeah.
And she was on Jimmy Kimmel or one of those late night shows and giggling with him about this article. He brought this article out.
I see.
Obviously, she told him to bring the article out. And that is the conspiracy right now, is that they are going to have a divorce. They say that he will be the first president to have a divorce, but that's not true because President Reagan also was divorced,
Yeah.
and so was President Truman.
No, President
Not Truman. President Trump.
Yeah.
So
No, I heard she was staying away because politically she would be seen in a light favorably in 2028 because she stood up to Trump, and she didn't go because of Trump. I've never heard the divorce angle. That's very
Well, it's all
interesting.
just speculation.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
well,
Yeah.
there is a conspiracy that Michelle Obama was a male,
Well, that's
yeah.
How did she happen to have two children?
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
okay.
immaculate conception,
Yeah.
right?
Incredible, yeah.
So you saw the two, Obama and Trump, at the funeral for Carter. What did you think of the belly slap there?
Well,
and
I thought right away that Trump wanted Obama to be the first governor of Greenland, and so that's what they were chuckling about. So,
What do you think of those statements where Canada, the 51st state, Greenland, we take over Greenland, we take back the
Panama
Canal,
yeah,
those things.
I like the canal angle. I think we should.
why do you want it?
Well, it's costing us a fortune to go through.
Yeah,
Every
but
time.
most of those ships we have, though, are too big for the Panama Canal. That's
well-
what I had heard. That's when they treated it away. Part of the reasoning was our ships were so big that they couldn't navigate through the Panama Canal anymore. So strategically, it wasn't worth that much to us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that they're killing. It's like everybody takes advantage of America, right? We're paying $500 million to the right, where China's paying $39 million.
Who was paying $39 million?
China.
China?
We're paying $500 million. We're paying for NATO something like 15 to 20 to 1. In NATO, where the Europeans and the other members of NATO are not paying their fair share. This whatever drug we have here is like 500 here, but you can go to Canada and it's $20, right? It's like you get the money, we're gonna take advantage of it. I know that if I take a flight from here to Ireland and come back, it's cheaper to go from Ireland to here and go back. So it's why am I going down this path of why Americans are being taken advantage of? I forgot.
Actually, we pretty much stole that land in the first place.
The Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal. And so I don't know what rights we have to it. And we had a treaty with them to give it back after so many years when we first acquired that land. But the idea, if we have to send our soldiers into Panama and the Panama soil and those kids start killing each other, I just think that's a horrible thing to be doing.
I would agree with that deal.
I just that's not the country I'm proud of.
No,
and so-
but would you want the China? Would you want it to be the China Canal?
Yeah, but that's way overstated. There's about China's interest in what they're doing with the Panama Canal is what the research I have seen.
It is. Do we want to finance Japan's military? It's all about toll. It's like us financing Israel's military as us financing Japan, or China financing Panama, or us financing Panama. It's all about a toll.
I think we should be more like Sweden. We just keep our money. Right? Take care of the home base.
Here you go. You asked me about Valentine's. Real quick,
Right.
if I end up in jail, talk to me.
Okay.
Bail me.
You didn't buy the rights? Oh, Todd's 9:20.
Saint Cecilia, she been good to me. She always helped me find the melody.
We can't get in too much trouble. That's enough of that. I never liked St. Valentine's, the name of that song by Reckless Kelly. Look it up. I won't play the whole thing because I don't want Blake to have to worry about us.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is a wonderful song. I never liked St. Valentine's.
No, you didn't really sell it that way.
No, I didn't.
All right. What's it called? I never liked
I
St.
never liked it.
St.
St. Valentine's by Reckless Kelly.
Actually, I have 2 children born in November.
Okay.
I really liked Valentine's Day.
There you go.
Well, I had to do the quick math.
If you have news or like to sponsor us, email us at jim@cbrownartcenter.org or call 319-290-0241 and leave a message. I'm Jim Gillespie with Mike Farrell, Dale Reber, producer Blake Tempest, and guest in the studio, Richard Moore Kelly. As always, thanks to Kelly Seahawk. Thanks to the audience for bringing these stray dogs into your life. Happy Valentine's Day.
To all the sweethearts.
There you go. And remember, each day is about little victories.